Here's a crazy truth. You can meditate all day long and still be put out when the barista gets your name wrong or when your car won't start. But the Stoics had a simple solution for this. Want peace of mind? Train for the hard days while life is going smoothly. In this video, I'll show you how one simple ancient practice builds strength and serenity whatever life throws your way. Now, let me be real. I'm not a Stoic philosopher. I'm not a monk or guru or a psychologist. I'm just a guy, Mel in Glema, who's stumbled through plenty of stress and found something solid in this ancient approach to life. I'm making these videos to share what I'm learning in real time with people like you, people who are trying to live with more peace, more perspective, and maybe a little less anger at the know-it-all on your dashboard. I don't have all this figured out, but I've been testing these Stoic principles, and today's video might just be one of the most powerful and practical that I've made. We'll learn how to be ready for almost anything. Why do most people crack under pressure? Well, we live in the most comfortable time in human history, and that comfort hasn't trained us for difficulties. When life throws a curveball, it often surprises us. We crumble, not because life is hard, but because we're completely unprepared. Seneca wrote, "Set aside a certain number of days during which you choose to do without, live below your means, deprive yourself of certain comforts in life. And while doing this, ask yourself, is this what I've been so afraid of?" He wasn't advocating poverty. He was advocating practice. Because if you never train when the weather's fine, you'll panic when the storms hit. We all know people who fall apart when their phone battery dies. And that's not because they had an urgent call to make. It's just because they've never practiced being disconnected. The Stoics practiced voluntary discomfort. Now, to be crystal clear, voluntary discomfort is intentionally embracing small hardships on your own terms, not to punish yourself, but to expand your capacity to handle life. For instance, skip a meal, take a cold shower, leave your phone at home when you go for a walk. The goal isn't to become extreme about things. It's to train the mind to say, hey, I can handle a few things that are not comfortable. Epictetus taught, difficulties show a person's character. So when troubles come, think of yourself as being tested. Here's a key insight. Instead of waiting for life to test you, you test yourself. You choose the difficulty. Here's a real example. I started taking cold showers a few months ago, not because I loved the cold, but because small discomforts often led me to waste time complaining. The cold shower practice taught me that discomfort is temporary, but our response to it shapes who we become. For yourself, start with micro challenges, you could call them, small controlled doses of discomfort to build your emotional immunity. Instead of waiting for chaos, practice mini chaos every day. For example, practice patience intentionally. Maybe choose the slow line at the grocery store when you think you're in a hurry. Watch your mind when it tells you you should switch to another line, a faster line. Instead, stay put. Or go a day without complaining. Notice how you often want to complain about traffic, the weather, or slow service. When you catch yourself, pause and find something maybe neutral to say instead. Here's another. Delay gratification deliberately. You want to check your phone? Wait a few more minutes. You see something that you want to buy? Wait a day. Take the stairs instead of the elevator. Park farther away. What you're doing is you're conditioning your response system so that when real tests come along, you are prepared and you won't get pushed around by life's sense of humor. This creates calm by training your mind. The Stoics weren't emotionless, they were prepared. They felt everything, but they weren't controlled by their feelings. It's like the difference between a firefighter and the average person when a fire breaks out. Now, the firefighter feels the same urgency that any other person would, but he acts because he's prepared. He's ready for the moment. They know what to do. This mindset makes you capable. You become someone who can feel the storm, but still has the capacity to travel right through it. Here's a personal example. A while back, I had a backyard project that was a bit noisy and went on for several days. Suddenly, it became obvious that the cantankerous neighbor was getting a little disturbed. He poked his head over the fence and began yelling at me, claiming that I had to be the worst neighbor on the block. Was this upsetting to me? Yeah, of course it was. I kind of wanted to bop him one. But remembering my practice, I remained calm and gave him his platform. And after a bit, his demeanor changed, and he finally said, "Let's shake hands and just forget about it." Now, I get that some might say that I should have stood my ground, and show him where he was wrong. But that's often what keeps us stuck on the hamster wheel of frustration. We never know what life is going to throw at us, but training our response system will pay off. You won't flinch when life gets messy. Let's map out a 3-part practice plan. 1. Pick one discomfort per week. Pick one small challenge, something that stretches you slightly. Maybe it's waking up 15 minutes earlier than normal. Maybe it's taking a different route, a longer route to work. Here's step number 2. Reflect on it. Ask yourself, what was I fearing? And then what actually happened? What power did I gain? Keep a simple log. You'll start to notice patterns in what you think you can't handle and what you actually can handle. Here's step number 3. Keep it playful, not punishing. This isn't about self-denial. It's about mental training. Think of it as a cold shower for the soul. Brief, a bit shocking, but ultimately refreshing. Now, if you start to resent the practice, you're doing it wrong. Take a step back. Make it playful. So here's the takeaway. You don't have to wait for life to knock you down before you learn how to handle it and stand tall. Think about it. We train our bodies at the gym not because we enjoy lifting weights, but because we want to be able to pick up heavy things when we need to. Your mind actually works the very same way. So, a little voluntary discomfort can build a lot of inner strength. And it stays with you, rain or shine, calm or chaos. The Stoics understood something that we've forgotten in our comfort-obsessed world. Strength comes from struggle, wisdom comes from difficulty, and peace comes from practicing with chaos before chaos finds us. This isn't about becoming some kind of suffering superhero. It's about becoming someone who can say, I've been there before when life gets tough. Maybe not in the exact circumstances, but I've been there before. Try one small thing this week. Skip something easy. Delay something comfortable. Choose the harder path when stakes are low. And watch what happens inside your mind. You might just discover that you're stronger than you think, calmer than you imagined, and more capable than you ever gave yourself credit for. Share your challenge in the comments. I'd love to hear what you're willing to test yourself with. What small discomfort are you going to embrace this week? And of course, if this resonates with you, please subscribe and ring the bell for the next in this series on Stoicism. Remember, life doesn't have to be easy for you to remain calm. But you do have to practice being calm when life is easy. I'm Mel Glima, and thank you for watching.